Entitled Mom shoves her kid into my classroom and runs. This is my first post on this forum, so please be gentle with me. Not sure if this is entitled parents or choosing beggars. For context, in my late teens and early 20s I ran a free after-school program for kids out of a community center. The program was for kids ages 8 to 12 whose parents were currently undergoing a messy divorce. We had a sister program next door for parents of the kids. It was part class, part community group, part group counseling. With the kids, myself and another volunteer discussed handling anger, prepared them for joint custody, changes in finances, what alimony and child support were, etc. The class was free, some of the materials were paid for by the center, and the rest I covered myself. I liked the class and it gave me a bit of padding on my resume, so I didn't mind buying snacks, coloring materials, and prizes for the kids. At the time, we were a few weeks into the class, and I had 8 kids who were attending. 8 is a great number, because do you know how many things come in packs of 8? It meant I bought stuff in those 8 packs so each kid would have something, and I didn't waste money on spares. So this afternoon, the kids are coming in, and this parent I haven't met with an unknown kid comes by, and sort of drops the kid off without a word to me or her child. It's been a few years, but here is the conversation I remember. Me, Mom? Entitled Mom, what? Me, hi, I don't think we've met. Your son isn't enrolled in this class, currently. You can't just drop him off with me. I was told this class is free. Me, it is. But it's not a daycare. You do have to enroll your child first, and the beginning of the term. Well you can ask me right now. Me, I'm sorry, but the class is starting right now, so I can't. But you can enroll him in the next term. You can find information on how to do that at insert information. Rolling her eyes, I have an appointment, can't you just take him? For the record, the parents were supposed to be enrolled in the class across the hall, not just use us for free childcare. Me, I can't. Besides, I didn't know I'd have another student today, so I don't have enough supplies or snacks for him. Oh, he doesn't need any snacks. He won't mind. Me, Mom, of course he is going to mind all the kids eating Nutella snack packs and Capri Suns, and that all the other kids have workbooks and he doesn't. It's not fair to him. Besides, it's not really safe for me to watch a child that I have no information for. So you can sign him up for the next term. Gets all huffy, fine. Grabs her kid and storms off. That was the end of it, or so I thought. A few minutes later, I'm working with the kids and the other volunteer is setting up our next activity. The door opens a crack, the same kid as before is shoved in, and the door slams. The other volunteer and I share a what the zucchini? Look, but I open the door and look out, and entitled Mom is booking it down the hallway. Me, Mom. Yelling without turning around, I'll be back in a few hours. Me, never mind the class is only an hour long, half running after her, Mom, if you don't come and collect your son, I will call the police about an unaccompanied minor. He won't be here when you get back. Stops, sighs, turns around and pegs me with a glare, you are being so unflexible. This is terrible customer service. Me, you're not a customer. Please take your son. Entitled Mother grabs her kid's hand and starts storming off while yelling, I can't believe you would call the police on a child. What kind of teacher are you? I am going to tell your boss about how horrible you were to me and my son. To this day I wonder if she attempted to talk to my boss about my behavior, or imagining the look on her face when she found out the boss of the program was me. A gold? On my first post? No way. Thanks stranger. Edit, a platinum? I don't even know how to respond. Thank you so much. Edit number 3, thank you everyone for your kind responses. I'll be sharing more stories in the future, but it made my day to hear how supportive you all are. Thank you all so much. Lamau, I'll be back in a few hours. Brilliant. 12 hours later. Truth be told, you weren't going to call the cops on a child. You were going to call the cops on her. Zucchini people will always find a way to twist the situation to make themselves look like the victim. Should have let her run and just call the police. Agreed. After the first time, call the cops. I'm not paid enough to deal with that level of stupidity. I'd be tempted to call Banana. If Banana near every teacher or former teacher, camp counselor, and random childcare provider I've ever met didn't have a similar story. I weep for humanity, and that poor kid whose M can't even be bothered. I hate M who think just because the place caters to kids they can just abandon them there for a few hours without telling anyone. There was another story on here about a mom who tried to leave her kids, all under age 10, at a game store for a few hours and flipped out when told, "No ma'am, we cannot watch your unaccompanied minors. I even run a game and have a strict no one under 16 without adult policy because I'm not a freaking babysitter." I once worked in a Barnes and Noble in a big mall area where parents would routinely drop off their kids, some 8 or 9, but sometimes as young as 6 or 7, for 5 to 6 hours at a time while they did God knows what. When they finally came back to get their kid, they were always shocked and enraged to discover police officers waiting there to talk to them. Can you please not apply to Cornell? My son wants to apply there too. So this is a story that happened to my friend this year and I am honestly so shocked by this. So basically my friend is a regular good student at school, has amazing after school activities, and is student government president. She also has a perfect SAT score. It has been my friend's dream to go to Cornell. Both her parents went and she has been in love with it for years. Now enter entitled mom and entitled son. My friend's mother gets a call on her mobile from the entitled mom. Basically it goes like this: entitled mom, hi, are you friend's mom? Friend's mom, yes. Entitled mom, friend is applying to Cornell, early decision, right? Friend's mom, yes, she is. Entitled mom, can she please withdraw her application? My son is applying there and we want there to be less competition for him. Friend's mom, if you agree to pay my daughter's full tuition wherever she goes, sure. Entitled mom, excuse me? My friend's mom just hung up on her. My friend is still applying to Cornell. Hopefully she gets in rather than this entitled mom's spawn. Oh nice. Same happened to me when I was applying to engineering in Padua. The family of an ex-classmate didn't want me to go because her kid was better than me. The guy is now doing chemistry in Rome and the mother is like, I made a big mistake. I feel like engineering in Italy would be stressful as hell. You'd constantly be comparing yourself to centuries-old engineers whose stuff is still standing. M must not have had much confidence in her son's abilities, that she thinks one other applicant will prevent her son getting in, never mind the huge amount of other people applying to go. I'm going to phone each of them and say go away so my son can get in. Haha, perhaps she said it to other parents too. Yeah. So, CU alumnus here. Used to work in the admissions department, heard lots of goings on. This sort of thing happens a couple times a year. They take it seriously. If you were to drop the admissions head an email, it would pretty much tank the entitled mom's kid's chances, just like that. Stupid question, so OP would just need to write an email saying that the mother asked her to rescind the application and the kid's chances to get in would tank. I mean, hypothetically, if OP, or anyone, were to write this without any evidence to back this up, how sure can you be that this really happened and it's not just OP, or anyone, trying to eliminate a potential rival? Your son against my daughter? Let the best person win. Honestly? I wish they battle it out. My friend will win lol. Was it Andy Bernard pretending to be a mum? M accuses me of stealing my own car keys. This happened yesterday, and yes, it was as stupid as it sounds. So, for some quick context, I'm a cleaner at a private school. It costs something like £25,000 a year to send your kid here, so you can imagine the amount of rich, entitled BS that goes on. You already know who M and me are, so let's get into it. It's 4 PM, and I've been at work for an hour just getting on with what I'm doing, and the M comes storming into the classroom I'm cleaning. M, you need to move your car. What? Why? M, speaking very slowly and loudly for some reason, YOUNEEDTOMOVEYOURCAR. Me, copying her tone, NOIDONT. M, does some confused blinking, why are you talking like that? Me, because you were. M, whatever, just move your stupid car. It's blocking me, and I have an appointment. Me, lady, my car isn't blocking you. I parked along the back row, by a hedge, blocking nobody. M, you're lying. Come and move your car right now. This goes on for about 5 minutes, and eventually I figure she won't shut up unless I do something. Me, look, if I prove that my car isn't the one blocking you, will you get out of my face? Finally, just move the stupid thing so I can go. So I go get my keys from the cupboard where my stuff is, practically glued to my shoulder the whole time, go to the car park, press the button on my key, and the lights blink on my beat up Fiat in the corner. See, my car, right there, not blocking anyone. Thinking that's the end of it, I turned to go back to my job, and she started screaming behind me. You stole those keys. That's not your car is in front of mine. Get your keys right now and move it. Me, okay, which car do you think is mine? I figured if it's a staff member's car, I could direct the crazy zucchini to them. Marched over to a Range Rover, presumably hers, which was blocked in by a brand new Porsche, a brand new freaking Porsche, and glared at me. I must have stared at her for at least 10 seconds before I started laughing my cheesecake off. Me, lady, if you think I could afford that car on a part-time cleaning job, you must be delusional. She then started yelling about how I'm deliberately stopping her leaving, and she's going to have my car towed, but I just walked away. I don't get paid enough to deal with that zucchini. I have no idea what happened after that, but I really hope the Porsche driver didn't leave for another few hours, just to stick it to her. Edit, hopefully fixed formatting. I legit broke out in laughter when she claimed you owned a brand new Porsche. Both my parents and my own income together would maybe afford it with insurance, much less a single person working your position. Not a dig at you, just confused how she deduced it was you. I have no clue really. Did this moron not realize that someone who works part-time as a cleaner is not getting a brand zucchini new Porsche? What goes on in their head? I have a problem, so I'm gonna blame it on the closest person, but not any kind of logic. No clue. Remember a couple years back when a senator was talking about how he was so poor because after he invested in his own business every year he only had $300,000/year to feed his family? That's what these type of people think poor is. They tend to think poor is having to choose between a brand new luxury car every year or a new high-end sports car every other year. Or they had to choose between spending a month on their private yacht in Santorini, Greece or the Bahamas, not both. To them, the concept of I can pay my water bill or buy groceries this week but not both is totally, utterly foreign. Cheesecake, you gotta tell me where you work. Cleaning cheesecake is something even I can do, and if you can afford a Porsche from your wage it must pay extraordinarily well. It can't pay that well if she had to resort to stealing car keys, /s. You already know who Em and me are, so let's get into it. It is so nice to see this.